During his prime, DeMarcus Cousins was widely accepted as the best big man in basketball. Boogie was a walking 20 and 10 with great passing ability as a big man. Unfortunately, the Kings were just never able to put the appropriate talent around him during his time there. He went through multiple head coaches and plenty of losing seasons where the team didn't even sniff the playoffs. Despite being a perennial all-star, the Kings sent Boogie to the Pelicans for Buddy Hield, Langston Galloway, and Tyreke Evans. Now at the time, everyone thought Boogie got traded for a cookie and a half a bag of chips, but the Kings made this trade at the right time. They needed to make a full rebuild, and getting rid of Boogie was the only way to fully do that. The Kings have an identity now, which they didn't seem to have during the Cousins era. Immediately, Boogie and AD were touted as being the new twin towers of the two best big men in the game. Boogie was having his best season, and it looked like he was finally going to play in the playoffs for the first time in his career. Then everything came crashing down. In terms of the life of a pro basketball player, DeMarcus Cousins has had the worst 19-ish months I've ever witnessed. All of you know, Boogie tore his Achilles against the Rockets in early 2018. He allegedly got 0 offers from the rest of the league until the Warriors gave him a minimum contract, much to the dismay of the rest of the league. Boogie looked okay with the Warriors until he tore his left quad. Once again, Boogie faces another setback. A lot of people thought this was karma for Boogie trying to get an easy ring. I personally don't think Boogie was trying to ring chase, but more so he was trying to get to the playoffs with the least pressure to return, and no team other than the Warriors could offer him the opportunity he was looking for with as little work as possible. So after the Warriors situation flamed out, Boogie tore his ACL in a closed practice, just when we thought nothing could get worse. Boogie is now going to be sidelined for an entire year. All of these injuries were sustained in one leg, and I truly think DeMarcus Cousins will likely be out of the NBA after this. On top of everything, DeMarcus just got an arrest warrant for third-degree domestic violence since he threatened to shoot the mother of his children in the head. That's enough of a recap. What's next for his career is probably the most important part. I think it's pretty obvious that DeMarcus Cousins is done as an NBA player. His body has failed him, and he's just suffered too many setbacks that will likely just weigh on him mentally. He looked awful in the finals, and he'll likely never get back to even being a serviceable role player anymore. Achilles, quad, and ACL are the 3 biggest leg injuries for an athlete, and Boogie's had all of them in less than 2 years in the same leg. Most teams won't give him offers in the future, and he'll probably have to look overseas to find something. Not to mention, he has an arrest warrant and is known for domestic violence threats at the very least. The Lakers will probably release him at some point because keeping him is bad publicity for their organization. It's a terrible series of events for a player that was on his way to being a Hall of Famer potentially. Boogie was such a versatile big man who will likely be forgotten in 10 to 15 years. It seems like Boogie is just oddly cursed. Every time he tried to get his life back on track, he got hit with a massive setback. Mentally, he may just need a break from the drama and attention that comes from basketball, but I'm afraid the NBA will likely turn their back on him like they have with so many other players who've been involved with legal issues. If he's mentally and physically healthy enough, I could see Boogie in the Big 3 in the future, but until then, the league will miss the skill and talent of DeMarcus Cousins. He was a great player to watch despite some of his personality problems, and I'm sad to see him go, but I think his NBA career is done. Well, that's all for this one. This was kind of just a short recap and a bit of a reflection on my part, so I didn't add too much new information to this video. Sorry about that. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe if you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you in the next one.
Just in case the party gets rowdy, I brought my crew. I don't mind if y'all wanna fight me, just don't shoot.